Greetings from Casa de Single Wide News and my fancy studio. I am Leroy. What in the world is going on in Washington, D.C.? And has the Insurrection Act been invoked by Donald Trump? Well, let's start with the Insurrection Act. I heard from several sources yesterday that it had been invoked and signed into effect at like 12:21 a.m. on the 10th of January. I cannot get confirmation. Several of the sources were I had a baby with an alien kind of people. One of them usually fairly reliable, but I can't get any confirmation. We're in darkness. I usually have a source that's fairly close, that tells me things fairly close to the situation in D.C., but I'm getting nothing. So your guess is as good as mine as to whether it has come into effect or whether it will be put into effect. Now, what is the Insurrection Act? The first time that it was used, I believe, was 1796 election. Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr. At that time, the person who got the most votes for president, of course, got the president. The person who got the second most votes, their competitor, became the vice president. And sometime shortly after the Civil War, that process stopped. Anyway, Aaron Burr, of course, lost. He was vice president, had a duel with Alexander Hamilton, shot him and killed him. Then, as I understand it, took off to Texas, tried to raise an army to go back to Washington and take over. It was a rather strange, oddly contested election, but I won't go into all of that. The next time, and the only other time that I'm aware of that it was used, at least on a federal level, was Abraham Lincoln, and that was the start of the Civil War. So obviously the first time it was used did not cause a civil war. Wasn't that huge of a deal. It was individual, a particular individual and maybe some people, some of his close followers. So, the Civil War, it was enacted when these states wanted to separate from the Union, and so the rest is history. Then I think I said yesterday that it was 1804 that it was last updated. That was actually 1807 that it was last updated and kind of refined. So anyway, it's when a person or group of people tries to take over the existing government. Now they're charging President Trump, who is the head of the existing government, or they're trying to charge him with insurrection for the riots at the Capitol building. There's absolutely nothing that he said to incite violence there. No dog whistles, no nothing. I've listened to every word that he said, and so, and as far as the Insurrection Act being put into place, if I don't hear it coming out of his mouth, I'm not going to believe it. However, I have seen documentation and actual troops moving into D.C. There is a state of emergency that has been called. for Washington, D.C., up to 15,000 troops. I think there's close to almost 7,000 there already. This is like 5 a.m. Eastern time. So up to 15,000. That's twice what we have in Afghanistan and Iraq currently combined. So that's they're taking over DC through the swearing in of the next president, whoever that may be. Pardon me for not being an absolute defeatist, but if you've been keeping up with what I've been saying in the past, this election was screwed up. There should have been investigations into the machines, the processes, the laws that were changed against state constitutions, and the U.S. Constitution. The set of electoral votes that they chose should have come from, according to Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, should have come from the state legislatures. Instead, they chose the ones that the governors picked instead. Clearly, they did not cede their power to anyone else. So there's a lot of stuff that should have been worked out and wasn't worked out. So I am not counting out President Trump until I see somebody put their hand on the Bible and say that's the new president, whoever that may be. Now, as far as what went on at the Capitol building, it is my understanding that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell were supposed to work with the D.C. mayor to have adequate security around the Capitol building, co-equal branches of government, whatever. That was their domain. They should have had it secure, and instead, at least during part of it, you had the security, the police, whoever it was, holding gates open, holding doors open, and motioning people in. Yes, there were some people who broke windows and yada, yada, yada. Previous videos, I won't go into all that again. But to say that anything that Donald Trump said, was inciting violence, sorry, I've listened to every word. I'm not seeing it. They can throw this dog whistle crap up. Oh, well, it was interpreted as, well, you can't, you're going to, if you take something that I say wrong, am I responsible for what you did? Is Bernie Sanders responsible for the people that got shot out on the ball field? Or shot at? No. So why is Donald Trump, who's called for peaceful protests always, before, during, and after, getting blamed for it? Why? Because he's Donald Trump, that's why. So, there you go. As far as the impeachment goes, well, they impeached him on made-up, non-existent crimes last time. There's no time for it to make it through the Senate. Will they impeach him? Who knows? Who cares? The last time, there was literally no crimes. It's like, we're going to make up rules that you have to randomly, retroactively have abided by, that aren't written in a book anywhere, and if it's our opinion and you go against it, we're going to impeach you. It's not the way it's supposed to work. Sets a real bad precedent. And they're doing it again. So, whatever. Anyway, that's what's going on in D.C. right now, as best I can tell. They did say that Trump and Pence met and had their first talk. Don't know why I'm not seeing any videos of President Trump getting off of the helicopter and going into the White House Don't they have a White House press staff that's, located there? I didn't see, maybe it happened and I missed it, but I didn't see it. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Maybe they did a Zoom call, and he's still in Texas. I hear Trump is supposed to do a speech from Abilene, Texas tomorrow. I heard he was going to do one, or actually, I guess that's today, later today. I heard he was supposed to do one yesterday, but that didn't transpire. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'll try to keep my videos more concise and not as long in the future. And if you would like to support what I do, just be nice to people that need it. I don't want your money. You don't need your money. And God bless you. I appreciate you tuning in. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.